All right. Get anyone on? Here we go. Yep, looks like streaming is on. Yeah. Streaming certainly on. Anyone actually anyone in the chat? Okay, we need someone to chime in the chat now. Hey, it's Mass Jumbo. Hello. Okay, you are on. All right. Union 7744. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, come on. Hey, Taco Bell. Ook. Hello, hello. Okay, you're the first one here. So the first thing we have to do is mic check. Check audio. Are we good? How's the audio sounding? I know the video isn't good for a good reason, but that's it. Hey, Seagull. Seagull sounds good. Mass Jumbo. Saskia. Yeah, that's a great name. Hello. Okay, the audio sounds good. Video, you have to do one more because it's all about lighting. There you go. How do we look now? Lighting is by far the most important thing. Audio as well, but lighting can really take a stream. Can really improve a stream. Okay, video check, mic check. Video check, mic check. Are we good? Are we good? All right, feel free to chime in. But here we are, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome everyone to season number 10, episode 1. Yes, season number 10. Yes, I'm Ming Chow. I'm now I did have a change. So it's now teaching professor. I used to introduce myself as associate teaching professor, but that's now hey, we don't want to. Yes, hey snoozer, Kyle. Yes. I'm Ming Chow. I'm a teaching professor now, not associate. No, I recently got a promotion. Uh, Welcome, another season. For those of you who are here on Twitch, if this is your first time, welcome. Welcome, and also thank you. See, the first thing because this is episode number 1, and you may be wondering, like, why in the world am I streaming on Thursdays on Twitch? This is season number 10 now, and there's a reason why. It is each brand new each semester is a season. Yeah, the stream is on. So why I still stream? 10 seasons, 5 years, yes, 10 semesters. Well, number one, cybersecurity education is still in dire straits. It's still badly needed. There's still a lot of people out there that want cybersecurity content. So that's number one. So the demand is still there, even with all the AI stuff that's going on. It's to democratize the education. It opens up opportunities. Not only people are toughs, but all around the world, even places like Nepal. Okay. Thanks, mommy. Had to refresh. Okay, it's an ad. Yeah, you have to say if it's interesting. You shouldn't be getting ads if you sign in. That's weird. You should be not getting ad if you actually a subscriber, which is free. I don't do that. Hey Josie. Hey Josie. It removes the physical barriers, and Twitch is fun. Twitch is great because unlike YouTube, is no one knows if you're a cat or a dog. No one knows if you're a cat or a dog. But there's one more thing I didn't say, but I'll say this and keep this in your head. I really feel that teaching on Twitch makes teaching a much less thankless job. So allow me to go there is that, teaching is unfortunately a thankless job, especially at a lot of places. but teaching on Twitch it makes the feeling a lot less thankless. And so that's why I still do it. That's why I still do it. Yeah, ad blocker is the way. Yes, ad blocker is always the way. So, what are we going to do today? How are these going to work? Today is going to be one of those few presentations. I'm actually going to use a slide for very good reason, but it's all hands-on. It's all hands-on. These Twitch sessions, you'll love them. Okay. Which ad blocker, which should be a fun lesson on how you set up your. Yeah, I use Pi-hole. For those of you who are curious, I use Pi-hole. I have a server at home, or you can do it with a Raspberry Pi. It blocks a lot of crap. Okay. So wait a minute. Some of you folks may actually be wondering, is that my email address? Yes. I I still call it Twitter. I'm not on there I'm basically hardly on Twitter anymore. But that's my other email address. It's ming@wallersheep.com. The hell is that? Today we're going to do one of my favorite topics. It's also very dense. It's also extremely hands-on. I do this training professionally as well too. Is on packet analysis using Wireshark. Okay, so what in the world was that? And also, what in the world is the wall of sheep? Yeah, should we try to follow along while we watch? Yeah, you can do that. You can definitely do that. You can, for today, absolutely. Although we're going to actually have to work a little fast because my professional training is usually 2 hours long, but we only have 1 hour and 15 minutes for Twitch, so we got to move along. Okay? I want to give you a little bit of a motivation. So, what is a wall of sheep? So, each and every summer, the world's largest, cybersecurity hacking conference, or people call it a hacking conference, which that's the proper term, DEF CON, is held in Las Vegas, Nevada, usually at the end of July, early August. DEF CON makes the news every year. Many years ago, it was the conference that parents told their kids to not go to. It was a conference that it was synonymous with anything goes, electronic devices get broken into, anything get hacked, and shenanigans. Let's not have a conversation about those. And then the law enforcement. I mean, there have been speakers that have been arrested on stage. That happened before. That kind of stuff now, not so much, but the memories last forever. Now you have law enforcement, lawyers, government officials, academics, good attackers, bad attackers, list goes on that attends DEF CON. It's the world's largest computer hacking, computer security conference in the world. 30,000 plus. And for many years, for decades, there is this sobering sight better known as the wall of sheep. Now, the DEF CON network, which is used by attendees, is arguably the world's roguest network. It's the most dangerous network in the world for very good reasons. You have good, bad, attackers, lawyers, everyone using the same computer network. Back in the ye good old days, encryption was not used often in network communications. The Wall of Sheep team is given access to monitor the entire conference network. And the Wall of Sheep team, what it does is it analyzes the computer network traffic to find anyone that is using, insecure protocols, sending username and password in plain text and also any other sensitive information in plain text. And post credentials, login and password, with the password partially censored out, and post it all on this wall. Some people may call this a wall of shame, but it's really an educational opportunity for people to learn this is what happened when you use the world's most dangerous computer network and you don't use any secure slash encrypted protocols. So it's an education to have people to actually be careful on what network they're using. That's number one. But number two, use encryption, use encrypted services. You know, if you're using HTTP to like send bank account information, that's not good. Medical information, not good. Back in the days, we caught so many credentials with like Facebook, Twitter, yada yada yada. Uh, all sent insecurely. And so today, what I'm going to show you is what we do at the wall, like the tools and techniques that the Wall of Sheep uses. And yes, I'm a senior member of the Wall of Sheep. Always have been for over 10 years now. And I also credit the Wall of Sheep for giving me the education, the hands-on skills in computer networking that I never got when I was in school. Is this the presentation that's a 2020 workshop that you did for DEF CON? For the most part, it is. Ah, so you've been a follower, Sasgas, of me for a long time. So Wall of Sheep, what we do is now we've outgrown to be the Wall of Sheep. We're now the packet. We're a village now. We're the packet hacking village, and our mission is security awareness. Last summer, we did a trainings on using how to analyze computer network traffic with Python and machine learning. That was fun stuff. And we accomplish our mission through interactive demonstration, trainings like these, and also unconventional methods. One year we ran a fundraiser for the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and we ran a peekaboo booth. And the peekaboo booth was just a screen of all the pictures not safe for work that people were browsing on the DEF CON network. You can see all the not safe for work pictures that people have been browsing on the DEF CON network, and you had to pay I think like 25 to 50 cents or something. See it. And we're all volunteers. We all pay our way out to go to Vegas each and every summer. Yep, we're all volunteers. And we also look for volunteers each and every year as well. So what is packet analysis? Packet analysis goes by a number of different names. Packet analysis goes by, understanding computer network traffic, but it also goes by a whole bunch of different names as well, such as network protocol analysis, packet sniffing, packet tracing, protocol analysis. They're all the same. They're all the same. So you may actually notice the word packet is highlighted or italicized. That we're going to get into that? Of course, yes. Yeah, so italicized terms means that we're going to cover a little bit more deeper shortly. So why? Why do you want to do packet analysis? So one of the first things that you all need to know is any tool, any technique that you use in cybersecurity can be used for both good and bad. Any tool and technique is a double-edged sword. Packet analysis can be used for both good and bad. Packet analysis is not new. System administrators for years used packet analysis to troubleshoot networking issues like, okay, why doesn't the Xbox connect to the network? Or why isn't the Nintendo Switch working? To reconstruct images and other data transmitted on the network, and to catch username sensitive information that were sent insecurely in plain text. That can be used for both good and bad. If you're a system administrator, you don't want to be seeing that stuff on your network. So you can just send a nice friendly warning to the person like, hey, your information is being leaked out. Okay? But yes, packet analysis can be used for both good and bad. So, a little fun semi-war story, and this was from fall of 2017. One night, I had a student write to me, it's like, hey man, did you see this? I'm like, what? So this was an article in Wired magazine on the Mirai botnet. And this article almost caused World War III on Twitter. But then again, hey, it's not that hard to actually start a flame war or war on Twitter, even up to this day. Probably easier now. So the wording in the Wired article was, quote, on the compromised devices, they had to carefully construct the network traffic data and study how Mirai code launched so-called packets against its targets. A little understood forensics process known as analyzing PCAP or packet capture data. Think of it as a digital equivalent of testing for fingerprints or gunshot residue. It was the most complex DDoS software I've ever run across. So I looked at that. I was like, "The hell does all this mean?" And the author of the article, Garrett Graff, and people were like having a field day on this. And I mean, if anything, it was just so weirdly worded. But anyway, Garrett is a great guy. We had a conversation about it. Um, so it sparked a lot of memes, including like there's an old saying like PCAPs or it didn't happen. Yes, that's true in computer networking land. But today I'm gonna actually teach you, quote unquote, this little understood forensics process known as analyzing PCAP packet capture data. Okay, so what is a packet? So a packet is a unit of data. It's just a unit of data. So anytime you download anytime you download a video, a web page, and stream a video, like you, for example, right now on Twitch, this is comprised of many packets. So a data stream is comprised of many packets. Not one, not two, but many packets. So right now, this Twitch stream has many packets flowing to your computer, iPad, desktop, laptop, doesn't matter. So in general, a single network packet contains the following information: source and destination addresses, MAC address, the address that is the hardware of your network interface, time to live, and the protocol. Uh, so the packet will contain like the data, like that is a piece of your web page or your email or voice, a part of this, of the stream. A single packet encapsulates all the layers of what is called the Open Systems Interconnection Model, or the OSI model. The OSI model is a topic that I absolutely hate. And I mean hate with a capital H, because a good part of it doesn't make any sense. So what is the OSI model? Okay, this is all you need to know about the OSI model. The OSI model is a conceptual framework that describes like how a network or telecommunication system should work. This is an idea of what happened when you put too many cooks in the kitchen and you come up with this model. Well, all you need to know about the OSI model are there are 7 layers. Each layer is abstracted from each other. That's all you need to know. From the highest level of abstraction that you and I care about to the lowest level of abstraction that you don't really care so much about. At the very top layer is the application layer, layer 7. This is what is called the end user application. This is stuff that you and I use on a daily basis, like web, file transfer, email, streaming video, list goes on. Presentation layer and session layer, no one cares about. Okay, and quite frankly, like it doesn't make any sense. Transport layer has to deal with to make sure that the data goes to the proper party reliably. The network layer, the only thing that you really care about, think of the network layer, is 2 things: source and destination IP address. Data link, hardware address, the MAC address. Physical layer, it's the physical structures, that's like cable, hubs, silicon, the air, you name it. Okay, so anytime you actually do communications between 2 parties, your data, a packet will have all these layers. This is a better illustration I found of what the OSI model is. So it goes from the highest, from layer 7 to layer 1, highest level of abstraction to the lowest level of abstraction. So, at the very top, you see the applications such as email, telnet, FTP, World Wide Web, DNS, yada yada yada. Then it goes down to data and representation, encryption, inter-host connection, end-to-end connection and reliability. That's a transport layer. Network layer, path determination and logical addressing. In other words, a source and destination IP address. Physical addressing, that means the physical, like the hardware address, MAC address. And of course, at the bottom layer is like binary signal, the thing that we don't care about. A real world analogy is a postal inspection, it's a postal service. Like, there's a format to an envelope. But the only thing that you care about is just put your letter in an envelope, stamp it, put your from address to address, put in the mailbox, and the piece of mail gets sent to the party, gets received within 3 to 4 days. But you don't care about the sorting facility, the mail trucks, where the letter go, what the facility that you go to. You don't care about that. But that's what the OSI model is. And this is actually a good another picture of the OSI model in action when one Reddit user sends a message to another Reddit user. The message goes down the river from application layer to the application layer to transport layer to internet layer to link layer to physical layer to link layer. Then the link layer goes back to the internet layer goes to transport layer application layer goes back to the Reddit user. The other Reddit user gets a message, you fool. Okay, what is a PCAP file? A PCAP is a file extension. It's an acronym. PCAP stands for Packet Capture. This .pcap is the file extension used in many applications such as Wireshark, which is the gist of today. Just to give you an idea, a 100 megabyte PCAP file contains tens of thousands of packets. And yes, I do record hundreds and thousands of packets each and every summer. Why? Well, for fun and profit, Also to actually now, more data that you have, probably the better to train stuff such as like a machine learning task. What is Wireshark? Wireshark is a graphical packet analyzer. If you're ever going to do anything network related, Wireshark is by far the most important application that you will use. For cybersecurity, Wireshark is always dubbed as the number 1 and the number 2 tool that you got to know and use. Wireshark is open source, free, and also platform independent. Wireshark is available on all operating systems, major operating Windows, Mac OS, Linux. Okay, in Wireshark you can do things like packet filtering, reconstructing conversations. It's such a valuable tool. Wireshark is like the number 1 tool. Like anytime when I get a new computer, Wireshark gets installed. Learning Wireshark gets interesting. I remembered when I was learning Wireshark the first time, I was like, what the hell is going on? Wireshark user interface has 4 main components. Number 1 is a toolbar at the very top. Number 2 is a table of a bunch of rows, and each row is a packet. It's a packet list. So each row is a packet. Now below that is a drill down, a packet details pane. This is where you can actually see all the layers of a packet, the OSI model. You can actually see the different layers of a packet. And then right next to it, because now the Wireshark interface has changed a little bit, but not by much, it's the packet bytes pane, the binary of a packet, because packets are binary. Okay? So, exercises, yes. All the PCAPs that we're going to use today are all available on GitHub. Yes. I'm going to go to Firefox. GitHub.com/mchow01 bootcamp. Okay. All the exercises are on all the PCAPs that we will use. I just want to give you a warning. You may not want to clone the entire repository because there is malware in the repository. So I will be like copying and pasting the links to the PCAP sets that we'll be working with today. So I don't want to, don't clone the entire repository. Is that this repository also has real malware as well. So if you're a Windows user, you're gonna get flagged. But yeah, let's open up. Let's start working with Wireshark. Yes. And here we are. And yeah, we're gonna actually look at set1.pcap. Set1.pcap is 715 bytes. Yeah, right click and copy link. Actually, damn. Let me go to Brave. I think Brave actually allows me to, if I got Chromium browser. Is this better for Chrome? Let me take a look. Download. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a copy. Oh, okay, there's a raw button. Oh, copy clean link. Okay, that works. Can that work? Yep, copy link. Why do you use DuckDuckGo, not Google? That's my answer. I haven't used Google for 3 years. That's a search. Yeah, DuckDuckGo. And here's the thing about DuckDuckGo. The search results are not loaded with ads. Okay. So one of the things that we can do, I'm going to open up a terminal right now. Actually, I need the terminal for today. Clear the screen. No, go to my desktop. And I can do a wget of the link that I just sent you. That's my firewall. And there we go. ls minus l. Set1.pcap. 715 bytes. Very small. Very, very small. Now, what happens if I try to view the PCAP file on a terminal? And this is why, having a good grasp on using Linux commands and being familiar with the terminal becomes really important. Let me do a cat of set1.pcap and notice what will happen. Notice what will happen when I try to spit out a PCAP file. Fuck. That's it. That's what happens when you try to spit out or to view a PCAP file in a terminal. It's not good. What do you notice? Well, first of all, you should have heard a bunch of beeps. And you see a whole bunch of gobbledygook characters. A lot of stuff that you can't understand. Yeah, you may see some text that you understand, like, what me worry here. But overall, you can't understand anything that's here. So this will show you, like if I do a file command on set1.pcap, which you all should have done, as this is actually mentioned on the first lab, you can see that it is a PCAP capture file. It's also binary. Okay, so now you know what a PCAP file looks really under the hood. Binary. It's binary data. But what happens if you try to open up set1.pcap and Wireshark? Eh? We're going to need a terminal later. Eh? Take a look. Let's get let's open up set1.pcap. Ta-da! There you go. Welcome to Wireshark, everyone. Looks a lot different than the terminal. Okay, so here is the toolbar at the very top. And we'll use filters later. This is your packet list. Each and every row is a packet. This is a drill down pane. Like for each and every packet. You notice that each and every time you hover over or mouse over a packet, the drill down list and also the binary changes. So, what is in the table here? Let me show you how a Wireshark table is organized. Each and every row is a packet. Number, NO, is just a packet number, just a sequential number. Time is time of recording. Source IP address, source IP address column, destination IP address column, the protocol, the length of the packet, and info. Info is a snapshot of a packet. So how the numbers work, as you will see, is, okay, usually the info works like this. Source port to destination port. So how you read this is 192.168.1.3 at port 49859 is talking to 192.168.1.8 at port 7777. And these are what is called the TCP flags. So let's see the exercise. Well, question number 1 is how many packets are there? Question number 2 is what is the network protocol used? Question number 3 is what is the source IP address? 4 is what is the destination IP address? 5 is what port number is the source using to communicate with the destination? And of course, bonus, do you notice it's TCP three-way handshake for two computers to actually talk reliably? Well, let's answer the questions now. Question number 1, how many packets are there? Well, count the number of rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 packets. Only 8 packets in set1.pcap. So what are the source and destination IP addresses? Well, be careful. There's only 2 IP addresses here. 192.168.1.3 and 192.168.1.8. But which one is the source and which one is the destination? You can't assume. But what you can do is you can take a look at not only the port numbers but also the TCP flags. Okay? Notice something. You notice the first 3 packets here? Notice the flags. Sync, SYNCAC, and ACK. Does that look familiar? Should. That's the TCP three-way handshake. The first 3 packets show the TCP three-way handshake. So that means 192.168.1.3 at port 49859 is sending a sync packet to 192.168.1.8 at port 7777. And then the second packet is 192.168.1.8 at port 7777 sends a SYNCAC packet to 192.168.1.3 at port 49859. Interesting. And of course, to close the 3 TCP three-way handshake, 192.168.1.3 sends an ACK packet to 192.168.1.8 at port 7777. So that's the TCP three-way handshake. Because the packet that starts with sync is the part 1 of the TCP three-way handshake, we can now actually conclude that the source IP address is really 192.168.1.3. The destination is 192.168.1.8. The protocol that's being used is, well, there's only one here, it's TCP. What's the port number is a source using to communicate with the destination, or what is the port number is the destination listening on? That one is, well, port 7777. So you may be wondering, what's the significance of port 7777? Port 7777 is typically used for no good. A lot of malware uses port 7777, which we'll talk more about later on in this course. Yes, port 7777 is usually up to no good, and you notice TCP three-way handshake. Yep. Yeah, Nick D asked that damn question. What in the world is ECE and CWR? And that, my friends, is something that I always have to look up. Yep, it's that time of the year again. What in the world is CWR and ECE? Explicit congestion notification. That's what ECN is. Another word for our purposes, not important. CWR and ECE. These TCP flags are used together in the IP header to warn senders of congestion in the network, thereby avoiding packet drop and retransmissions. That's what it means. Okay. It's good to know. I get that question all the time and I always forget. Yeah. Hope that answers your question, Nick. It's a good one. I get that all the time. Now, how do you reconstruct a conversation in Wireshark? What you do to reconstruct a conversation in Wireshark is, believe it or not, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a few mouse clicks. Yes, you do need a mouse. Number one is you click on a packet, any packet. It will be highlighted in blue. You right-click on the packet, you follow, and then you follow one of the following streams, depending on on the protocol. TCP stream is the most common. So let's go to set number one. Let's click on one packet here. This is packet number 5. You right click, you go to follow. TCP stream. And now you got a TCP stream window. No, this one's safe. No, set 1 is way safe. What me worry is the only thing that got sent from 192.168.1.3 at port 49859 to 192.168.1.8 at port 7777. 15 bytes got transmitted. And it even says it here. The entire conversation, 15 bytes. Now, you can see the file contents here in this window. You can, right now, the data is being shown as an ASCII text, which is good. You can also go to RAW to see the binary. Okay. Now, if there was more than one file that got transmitted from source to destination, you can view all the other files by way of clicking up on the arrow on the stream arrow. Right now, there's no additional stream because there's no additional file that got transmitted in this entire conversation. You can also save this entire thing, what me worry, to your desktop. So I'm going to save. I can just do a save as here. Output. I'm going to say hello.txt. I'm just going to say hello. No file extension. Save it to my desktop. Now you can see set 1.pcap. If I do a file hello, hello is ASCII text with no line terminators. More, I'm going to do cat hello. What me worry. There you go. And that's, you can, yes, what me worry. So the what me worry got saved to the desktop. That it for me? Yeah, that was it. And you can also see here the filter got highlighted. Because anytime you do a follow TCP stream, the filters get highlighted. You may want to clear that later on so things you don't get confused. Okay. Okay, I got a hold here. This is a... Okay, why am I asked to ban Stealer Man? The Stealer Man is good. Hold on. Let me tap to allow. Okay, tap. How do I allow? I'm allow. Yeah. Stealer Man. Oh, here it is. Now, Stealer Man is good. Stealer Man is good. Besides the three-way handshake, why did it take that many packets to send 15 bytes? That's a good question. Well, TCP three-way handshake. One of them actually have it. And here's the thing, to close the conversation, fin. Stealer Man 711. Yes, so everything in this packet file is used to send that one message, just that one message. Mammy, yes. What else can you use the filter for Wireshark for? We'll do that. We'll do an example of that later. Okay. So everything in this PCAP file is just used to send that one message. Yes, what me worry. That's correct, Mammy. Stealer Man 711, beside the three-way handshake, well, I also have to close the connection as well, too. That's why. That's a great question. That's a series of fantastic questions. So now you actually know, like each and every episode, each and every semester, yes, the topic is the same, the conversation are very different. Mammy and Steeler Man, just to let you folks know, no one has ever asked those questions before. I kid you not. No one has ever asked those questions, and they're very good ones. Thank you. All right, so here's a fun thing for you. You ever want to know how HTTP traffic looks instead of HTTP versus HTTPS versus VPN? So back in the days, there was a website called Tufts.io that was HTTP and HTTPS. So you may be curious, like how does the web traffic look unencrypted versus encrypted versus VPN? So here is, I'll show you. So in the repository, in tuftsinsecure.io, I'll copy the raw. Why would malware usually use port 7777? Yeah, it is an easy way. Because 7777 is one of those weird numbers that is also high enough as well too. That's a great question. 7777 is typically, well, it sounds like an easy way. It is. It really is. You're not wrong. Do people still use 7777 for malicious purposes? Oh, yes. Why? Uh, Historical reason. It's not 80. It's not the numbers that you're familiar with. Like the typical port number. Yeah, that's a very easy way. That's a very true statement. It's a very easy way to identify anything malware port 7777, like guilty until proven innocent. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, let me open up the tuftsinsecure.pcap file. Here. Now, is there a meaning to color code? And the answer is yes. Green usually means HTTP, not encrypted. So notice what happened if I right click, follow HTTP stream. HTTP stream is more specific than TCP stream. Ooh, look at that. Now this is tuftsio-insecure.pcap, and you can see style sheet data. Oh yeah. But even worse, here's a way of legal cheating. If you want to dump all the files, unencrypted HTTP content in a PCAP file, all you need to do is go to File, Export Objects, HTTP. And notice you will have now the opportunity to dump domain.css, jquery.min.js, all these JavaScript files, icons, everything. You can do a save all onto like a desktop. This is what happens when you use the Hypertext Transfer Protocol to browse HTTP to browse the web. Content is sent in securely. Now compare that with a secure version. If you're using HTTPS, what's the difference? What's the difference when you use HTTPS instead of HTTP? Yeah, you get your handshake, but you also have the HTTPS handshake here. This stuff, yes, it looks, yeah, but this is not this has nothing to do with going to Tufts.io. This is actually with Firefox with certificate information. Close the filter out, but now do a file, export objects, export HTTP, and you notice you don't get the same results. Remember when you're trying to do an export HTTP objects for Tufts.io-insecure, you are getting like jQuery, like JavaScript files, icon. You don't get that here. Now, what happens if you try to export, like when you try to view VPN PCAP? Now, this gets a little hairy because now when you look at VPN traffic, you can't understand a damn thing. It's just your computer and the VPN IP address. That's it. You can't make anything of it. Got a file, export objects, export HTTP. You got nada. Nada. Yeah, that's not wrong either. That's a good idea. Fast and easy to type does count for something. We will mention that later. Especially that's the reason why so many commands are Linux commands or Unix commands are 2 characters long. All right, now let's have some fun. Actually do another exercise. This one we're going to extract pictures. We're going to use set2.pcap. Oh yes. This one's a little bigger, 391 kilobytes. What does VPN does? Think of VPN as a condom. You know, it is a layer of protection. If you're on an insecure network, like a public Wi-Fi or something, or a network that you don't care about, all your traffic goes through a tunnel, secure, encrypted. Think of it that way. That's what VPN does. Yep. Think of it as like a condom, a wrapper, and everything. Like whether you're on an insecure network, unsecure, like whatever network you're on, it provides that layer of encryption and security. Okay, set2.pcap. Set2.pcap is a lot of fun. Number one, what insecure protocol was used to transmit pictures on the network? How many pictures were transmitted? And export one of the pictures that was transmitted. Hint, show and save the picture as raw format. So now we're dealing with pictures. I'm going to open up set2.pcap. Set2.pcap is small. It's 390 kilobytes. And there it is. Set2.pcap. Let's take a look what we got. Now, you know what? I don't want hello.p. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to go to my terminal. I'm going to my desktop. I'm going to go remove hello. Remove set1.pcap. Okay. I'm going to leave the terminal open. Now you see how many packets are here. 482 packets total. A VPN encrypted? No, they're encrypted. No. Tufts.io, Tufts.io secure and VPN are encrypted, yes. That's why you cannot read anything from them. Tom, correct. That's absolutely correct. Now, wait a minute here. You see the TCP three-way handshake? But then you notice a protocol called the FTP. The File Transfer Protocol. File Transfer Protocol is an... Oh, hello. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me read you this article. Very recent, 2021. How do you acquire King? That is a topic of conversation for next class. Tuesday. Great question. King, how do you actually acquire these PCAP files? Save your thought for Tuesday. Next Tuesday. The File Transfer Protocol has been a convenient file exchange mechanism between computers on a network. While this standard protocol has been supported in all major browsers since its inception, it is now one of the oldest protocols and it still suffers from a number of serious security issues. The biggest security risk is that FTP transfer data in clear text, allowing attackers to steal, spoof, and even modify data and data transmitted. To date, many malware distribution campaigns launch their attacks by compromising FTP servers and downloading malware on an end user's device using the FTP protocol. There you go. Bam. Don't need to say any more. That's the FTP protocol. Now let's take a look at Wireshark. Now let's right-click Follow TCP stream. Yes, we can do that. Bam. Whoop. Bam. Here's a TCP stream for set2.pcap. Notice you see the entire transaction log between the client and the FTP server here. Holy shit, you even see username and password. The username to the FTP server was Woodworm, and the password was Baby Shark with a capital B and a capital S. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at it. Yeah, okay. Look at the data. I see one JPEG, two JPEG, three a text file, another JPEG, and another JPEG, and then quit. Goodbye. 925 bytes here. So, but as I was saying, since there are files that got transferred to this FTP server, namely one JPEG, two JPEG, three JPEG, four JPEG, and one text file, can we actually see the content? Can we actually see the JPEG? You bet you can. Now, this is where you can modify the stream. There's a total of 6 streams. Index starts at 0. You click up. Ooh. Why does one PCAP file use multiple protocols for sending data? Is that normal? Oh, yes. FTP is an application protocol on layer 7 of the OSI model. FTP also uses TCP. There you go. So that's why. So file transfer protocol depends on the transfer. File transfer protocol depends on TCP. Can you read this? Notice anything with this first stream, with this first file? Can anyone read it in English? I see Apple Inc. I see JFIF. See a lot of gobbledygook. This is an ASCII text right now. This is, my friends, is a picture in binary. What are the different streams? The different streams, and what do they mean? The different streams are the pictures. Stream number 0, the very first stream, this is the transaction log with the FTP server. But as you can see from this log, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 pictures got transferred. And 1 text file. Can we see the 4 pictures in the text file? That's the stream. Stream number 1, or the first picture that got transmitted. Ooh, another JFIF. Now you can see Adobe. That's the second picture that got transmitted. You got a text file here. That's the text file that got transmitted. Cybersecurity as Real Politics, August 2014. 10 years ago. Dan Gear's speech to the Black Hat Conference. Go to stream number 4. Another JFIF. That's another picture. Can we save this to our desktop? Yep. Another picture. And that's it. Well, what happens when we try to save this to our desktop? Let's go back here. Let's go to stream number 1. Do a save as. Go to my desktop. Alt file 1. Save it to a desktop. Well, it's blank. I deliberately did not put a file extension for good reasons. We want to be sure. Do an ls. I see alt file 1. What happens if I do a file, alt file 1? Oops, a file 1. Ooh, ASCII text, very long lines. Okay? But we want pictures because we like pictures. Cat alt file 1. Oh, no. To actually get the picture, you need to save the data, output the data as not ASCII text, but save it as raw, the original. I'm going to save this again. I'm going to overwrite alt file 1. Replace. Stream number 2, we're going to save that as alt file 2. No file extensions, and you'll see why. Stream number 3, remember this was a text file? We can save this as ASCII text. You don't need to do that. Stream number 4, and you want to save as raw. Save as alt file 3. Stream number 5. Alt file 4. So we saved, presumably, 4 pictures. We don't care about the ASCII text file. Now let's see what happens. I'm going to clear the screen. Now we're going to use the file command again to actually see the file type of the things that we just saved to our desktop. I want to do a file, alt file 1. JPEG image data. Now we know that outfile1 is truly a JPEG. We can just rename outfile1. So we're gonna rename by using. Here's a quick dirty tip. You can do a move MB. Move outfile1 to outfile1.jpg. Put the file extension in. Notice what happens. Notice the file extension got added, and now the operating system can render the picture. File 2. Yep, that's also a JPEG. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Yeah, they're all JPEG. Okay, there you go. The little things are important. File extensions are important. First picture that got transmitted. Second picture that got transmitted in set2.pcap. Third picture that got transmitted. Fourth picture. Algorithm. Word used by programming when they do not want to explain things that they did, which is absolutely correct in this day of machine learning and AI. So those, my friends, are the 4 pictures in set2.pcap. Ink droppings. Yes, JFIF is equivalent to JPEG. That's correct. JFIF is the header of a picture. Yep. What actually happened, what actually changes when you save a file from ASCII to binary? Are the existing headers or something? Yes. The extra headers, yes. That's what Oreo said. You're absolutely correct. ASCII will change the headers. So the operating system, or in this case Mac OS, is going to say, no, this is a text file, not a picture. No, text file. Yes, there are extra headers for ASCII text. And yeah, it really messes up the binary. Great observation, Oreo Wish. Okay, how did you see the streams? You see the streams when you, let's do this again. You see streams if you just go to follow, to click on a packet, follow TCP stream, and it's in this window. Okay. Yes, mommy is, JFIF is the header for JPEG. So Tundra made good observation, but yes, JFIF. JFIF stands for JPEG File Interchange Format. Okay. Command line tools, I'll say this again. Command line is so important for any security practitioner. But I just want to warn you, you're not going to master the command line overnight. I've been working with the command line for over 20 years, and there's new stuff I still learn up to this day. Practice, practice, practice. There is a way. If you want to list or give a when you install Wireshark, there is a command line version of Wireshark that is installed called T-Shark. T-Shark is fantastic for little tasks such as T-Shark is a command line version of Wireshark. But what's great about T-Shark is if you want to do tasks such as like listing IP address and all the IP addresses, and their corresponding domain names in a PCAP file, much easier to do that in Wireshark. There, I'll just leave that there. It's so much easier. It's really, really, really nice. If you want, again, IP addresses, all the IP addresses and their corresponding domain names in a PCAP file, use T-Shark to do it. But yeah, I can show you. Shoot. Let me go to my documents. Let me go to. If I do T-Shark minus R to read in a PCAP file, what do you get? So it's command line based Wireshark, but use T-Shark for little tasks such as like listing IP addresses, all the IP addresses and domains in a PCAP file. Huge tip for you. We'll do another reconstructing a media file exercise. This time it's a little more involved. What protocol was used to transfer a media file? What's the IP address of the client, the server? What port number on the server did the client send the media file to? Reconstruct the media file. What kind of a media file is it? Yeah, this one is a little bit more involved and it's big. Here we go. Set3.pcap, 36.8 megabytes. Okay, thanks, B.S. Wilson. When you view a stream, you're showing the conversation, yes. Again, a stream is like is one of think of a stream as a file that actually get transferred. So in the previous example, we had 5 files that got sent to a file transfer to a server somewhere. 4 pictures and 1 JPEG. You can actually see those pictures, 4 pictures in a text file in the stream. We'll do another one here. Set3.pcap. Here we go. Set3.pcap. Ooh. So what are the IP addresses for set3.pcap? 192.168.1.228. It sends us, okay, here's a TCP three-way handshake and the first 3 packets in set3.pcap. Destination is 192.168.1.20. Hey, looks like we're talking to port 7777 again. 7777 again on port 190, but this time on 192.168.1.20. But this PCAP set has 38,469 packets. That's a lot. Let's do a follow TCP stream on this one. And yeah, it looks like the protocol, yeah, just the only protocol you see is TCP. Right click on any packet, follow TCP stream. Now this time, be careful. You notice that the number here is growing. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, stop. Now we see the entire conversation at 37 megabytes. 37 megabytes got transferred between 192.168.1.228 at port 51063 to 192.168.1.20 at port 7777. There's no other stream. There's only one file, one thing that happened between the 2 parties. This one there is, yeah, okay, I'll get to that in a bit. Well, first of all, there is no, I'll get to that in a few moments. There is no username and password in set3.pcaps. But this time, what we will do is we're going to show the data as raw. Now again, let the counter stop. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Saskia, I mean, you could. You have to write your own software, your own firewall for that. Okay, now 31,582 packets. Save as, and I'm going to save this to my desktop. I'm going to save this called some underscore video. Okay. I'll close this. I got my terminal open still. File. Oops. Go to my desktop. Apple QuickTime Movie. Okay. Watch what happened. I'm going to rename it to have a MOV extension. Yep, so that was a video. This is a video in set3.pcap. that was at the Dueling Piano Bar in Las Vegas at the Paris Hotel. That was from DEF CON in 2019. Yeah, I used that video for years because it was a good number of years. We weren't so sure if we would ever go back to Vegas again. You know, for obvious reasons. Yeah. So, the question by Flamingo_sauna. When you get to the follow TCP stream, does it matter which packet you follow, or does it lead to the same TCP stream? Great question. Sometimes it does show everything in one, but yeah, you're gonna get a stream, but it sometimes do matter which packet that you click on. But if it's like if you're doing a needle in a haystack problem, just whatever. I mean, you can just click on something. You know, when we're talking about like 75,000 packets and stuff, just click on something. Start there. Smaller PCAP file, like if it's like only one file or two file that gets transmitted, maybe it does matter. Okay, how fast does a PCAP transfer take? Yeah, it actually is pretty fast. Okay, it depends on the network as well. Tell Mammy. All right. So now let's talk about credentials. And I know that Flexi's PCAP's on transfer is a no PCAP no a transfer no, oh yeah I mean yeah Neravine PCAP is a collection of packets over a network, but the collection, I guess what Mammy is trying to say is the collection of packets, how fast did it take? It depends. Like when I'm on DEF CON, that network, to get 100 megabyte PCAP file, that takes like a second. On my home network, to get 100 megabyte PCAP file, that takes a lot longer, like by like many minutes. So it depends. I want to introduce you to something called Base 64. Some of you folks may remember may know Base 64 from Bandit War Games. Base 64 is an encoding scheme. It's used to represent binary data. It's used to translate binary data to ASCII text format. For example, like when I spit out binary data of a PCAP to a terminal screen, it wasn't safe. Base 64 is not encryption. Base 64 is not encryption. Base 64 is not encryption. Unfortunately, too many people think that Base 64 is encryption. This is important because whenever you're sending something in something called basic HTTP authentication, a request contains a header field of authorization form authorization : space basic, and then the credentials, where the credentials is the base 64 encoding of the ID and password joined by a colon. So one of my favorite websites that I use all the time is base 64 encode. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I mean, Union, is it better to save it as raw? Sometimes. Yeah, but for the most part, if you're dealing with pictures and videos, and that's what we care about a lot of, yeah, save it as raw. Base 64 encode, I'm going to do an encoding of, let's say, hello BS Wilson 00. That's the plain text. The encode of base 64 encoding of that is this mess right here. That is what you call base 64 encoding. Why does that matter? You can decode it backwards. And you go, hello BS Wilson 00. Now you may be curious, what's the point of that equal sign? Why does a base 64 encoding string have an equal sign at the end? Padding. So here is the intuition for each and every one of you. If you ever see an ASCII string that is a whole gobbledygook of characters and it ends in an equal sign or a double equal sign, think base 64 immediately. Okay, intuition. If you see a string that ends in an equal or an equal sign, base 64 should come to your mind right away. So why does it matter? It's now trying to play credentials game. Set4.pcap. Okay. Extracting username and password pairs. Okay, let's do it. set4.pcap. This is what we're going to use. And this is small. Clear the filter. Open up set4.pcap, which is only 16 kilobytes. How many packets are here? Not that much. And wait a minute, I want to go back and answer, and this is where I'm going to answer Flex Ricardo's question. What is the best way to find plain text login in a big file like this? I'll get to that. I'll show you the difficult way first, which you need to understand. 170 packets only. Not bad. Not bad. 170 packets only. Now this is where we want to use the toolbar. Click on the magnifying glass, find a packet. Now we're going to look for packet details. Look for the string. Now what are we looking for? Well, here we go. Authorization : space basic. If we see that string, then we should see credentials in base64 format. Yeah, let's play Wallace Sheep now. Literally. Authorization : space basic. Let's do a find. Oh, we got one. Here we go. I am going to, you can decode it right away, but I'm going to copy this as a value. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to paste it in the chat. So the first credential that we have is that. Ooh. Let's do a base64 decode. Right. Double equal string. That will decode to B. Rogers. They played with great character. Let's find another one. Let's do the find again. We found another one. ZG1. What is that? Des Moines, I am a football genius. Can we find another one? Yes, there is. Yes, Sagas, hold on. Yes, there is. But you need to understand how it works under the hood first before you get to the shortcut. Decode. Hey, so is that it? I think so. Yeah, that's it. 3 base64 credentials, basic auth credentials. 1, 2, 3. But do they go on the Wallace Sheep? Are they correct? The answer is, well, notice, do not go to the website domain after you find and enter the username password to determine if it's valid or not. Do not do that. Okay, so we answered, okay, what protocol was used to transmit the username password pair, the credential? In this case, it was straight HTTP. Yeah, it's straight HTTP. We found 3 username password pairs. Are they valid or not? Now, that gets tricky. Do not ever, when you find credential, don't go to the website of the domain and just punch in the username and password to determine if it's valid. That's a violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. That's unauthorized access. You don't even need to go to the actual website and enter in the username and password. All you need to do is to right-click Follow TCP stream. Oh, 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 this is not good. So here we are with the YNJ credential. 401 authorization required. The server could not verify that you are authorized to request the document requested. Either you supplied the wrong credential, bad password, or your browser doesn't understand how to supply the credential. Not good. So wait a minute. That YNJ password, that first one, that B. Rogers, they play with great character, that's wrong. That's not good. Let's find it again. Let's how about the ZG one? Follow HTTP stream. ZG1, the Demois, I'm playing with 4-1. Bad password. Let's find that third one, the Anna Ausla ID 10T one. It's not good. Nope. Either you supplied the wrong credentials. So, although we found 3 credentials, none of them were valid. Because if they were valid, then you would get a message that would be like HTTP 200 OK or successful or something else. It wouldn't be bad password or any number that's in the force. You have to be the judge by viewing the HTTP stream or the TCP stream to see if it's valid or not. 3 credentials found, 0 legit ones. Now, I want to let you all know. I want to do this again. Wireshark actually, if you go to the drill down pane, Wireshark can actually do the base 64 decode of credentials for you. There you go. Look at that. Find again. Yeah, look at that. You just have to expand on authorization : basic. Yeah, so there it is. So wait a minute, why are username and password sent as header and not as the data part of the packet? Don't the application writers get to choose whatever way that they are transmitted? Yeah, generally yes, but the thing is that in this case, no, the username and password aren't in the data part of the packet. They are. It's just the HTTP headers. The HTTP headers, anytime you browse the web, the request and response are part of the data part of the packet. I repeat, here's how it works. Whenever you browse the web, how it works, HTTP is just a bunch of request and response. The request and response are part of the data of the data portion of a packet. Okay, the application writer do not get to choose whatever header. I mean, most of the time they don't. I mean, you can do some like hacks and stuff around there, but no. So now you may be wondering, is there a shortcut to find all the username and password pairs in a PCAP set? God forbid if it's so big. Yes, there is. Are you ready, folks? Clear out all the, I'm going to clear out all my filters, tools, credentials. And there you go. If you go to the tools menu in Wireshark, go to credentials, you will see all the credentials in a PCAP file. It will show you the username, there's no password shown, the protocol that's used, and of course the packet number in which the credentials were found in. In this case, it's 60, 138, and 163. It is your job to verify, to find the password, to identify the password, and to also verify if they're correct or not. So go to Tool, go to credentials, and in this case, you see all the credentials. Now, the thing about this is this feature of tools, credentials, is platform independent, is protocol independent. So it doesn't matter if it's FTP. It doesn't matter if it is if it doesn't matter if it is email POP protocol. I mean, I'm going to open up set2.pcap again. Go to tools, go to credentials. There you go. Good one. Yes, it is hilariously easy. It is. So now, that's it. We're done for today. We're a little bit over, but that's normal because today is a really dense day. So where do you go from here? Well, we'll talk about sniffing and sniffing packets next on Tuesday. You can always, again, we're always looking for volunteers at the Packet Hacking Village in the Wall of Sheep. If you ever come to DEF CON in the Packet Hacking Village, we have a Packet Inspector event. We have a Packet Detective where we even have even more challenging PCAP exercises. And there's a Black Badge event, which is lifetime admission to DEF CON. Like, that's over $10,000, called Capture the Packet. And that, my friends, we are done for today. That is now episode 1. That's it. Yeah, hilariously easy it is. All right, folks. Thanks all, and see you next. Next Thursday is on Spyworks Reconnaissance. Yeah.